Welcome to another episode of Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt from the My Class and YouTube channel. I'm joined this week by RJ from 2 Minute Points and Miles. RJ, how are you this week?
You're getting better at that, Matt. I am the proud owner of an American Express Gold card again, because American Express apparently got alerted that I got a Bilt card and said, no, this is unacceptable. So they offered me a gold.
What they did was they unleashed the potato cannon, points and magic.
They did. And those points will be magical because my parents decided not to go on that cruise, which means I got those points sucked out of my account when they got the refund. And I am in the negative for however long it takes for Rakuten to do their transfer. So it was good timing there.
Oh, you remember like hockey games during the intermissions, or have the people on the Zamboni just firing off off t-shirts from the cannon? Where you go to a baseball game, they've got the t-shirt crew just pumping out t-shirts into the crowd. That's what American Express is going to be doing over the next couple of months.
Though their
they should.
sign-up bonuses have been questionable lately.
They're going to ask you for $12,000 on the platinum card now, which was a minor news item that
somebody get a 40,000 for 8K spend on the platinum on Reddit.
you're going to have to put those numbers up.
That hurt my soul a little bit. That's like that one was brutal.
The new MX reality is the sliding scale of welcome offers, where it's up to 175,000 points, but we could just say you get 8,000 points for 8,000 spend. But we'll take our 895, thank you. And there are people who are desperate enough to grab that because that is simple.
But I got a 666 offer. 60K points for 6K spend in 6 months.
That's not terrible.
That's their standard offer, but it was a no lifetime language link. So, because I had the gold before, so.
Yeah. We're also joined by Craig. Craig, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. Getting a wisdom tooth pulled on Thursday, so that's fun.
So you can't make it to the live.
I'm here for it. Just be a little muffled.
Put him on some pain meds, put him on live, and let's see what happens. We'll have him applying for a Bilt card by the end of the show.
Craig, you have a I wake up to a Palladium, an Obsidian, and whatever the free one is.
Blue.
Yeah.
Good time.
No, Mr. Raccoon Hands would come out for that one for sure. You don't need a business platinum. Sure you don't.
The worst part is I've got a business gold and plat offer sitting on my table right now, 200K, and then both 200K, but for 10 and 20,000. And I was like, yeah.
You could just put your food spend on it for a few months. Probably.
No, that's the worst part. But I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm trying to.
Business gold card is nice. Though I have to decide if I'm keeping it in hopes that it gets upgraded, but my luck, I'll keep it. It'll get upgraded in a way that does not make me happy, and then I'll be annoyed.
The worst part is I've had it like 2 or 3 times now.
Just upgrade that business green.
I don't have the business green. I have the business gold.
Yeah.
I already upgraded it.
I can't help you there.
I could downgrade it, but I really don't want that card in my wallet again. It hurt me.
Unless they make it like the $200, $225 annual fee 2x everything card, uncapped.
I'll see if I get a really good business platinum offer, but you don't see that as much on business cards for the upgrade downgrade.
No, nor should you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just become a contrarian at this point. Oh, look at all these points we can get. Are you sure you should be doing that? Really?
Honestly, probably not.
Am I sure? No. Am I going to do it anyway?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. And to be honest, Matt, do we need the points? Probably not. Should we really be spending this money to get the points? Probably not.
Probably not.
Am I going to?
And then
probably.
Yes. And then in 6 months, when it's like, hey, ANA just no notice devaled everything. Are there any more sweet spots with American Express? We could keep converting to at 1 to 2 to Hilton. Hilton just did another no notice deval. I got nothing for you, friend. Cash your points out for a flight on the business gold. Business platinum, sorry. Sorry,
I don't
Fred.
have a problem with it. My points have all the value I need.
As long as they've got Hilton and Delta, that's all RJ cares about.
I would really like them to swap Hilton for IHG at the moment, but that's just because of my parents really like Intercontinentals.
I do like a good Intercontinental. And I'll say this,
They like
I
the
like a
club.
Holiday Inn Express.
They like a club at the Intercontinental. They like going there. Breakfast is prepared for them. They get the coffee. They got the lounge in the evening. So we're not like going out and hitting the clubs. So it works. So I've exposed them to the Intercontinental, and they have said yes, more of this, please.
I'm not mad at it. They're people of fine luxury and taste.
No, they have great taste, and then I'm the one who has to figure out the points and or money for it. So they just tell me where they want to go, and we get there. But I think we have derailed the beginning of this episode with a long enough welcome.
100%.
What a tangent on this show. It's a tangent without Lonnie. So yeah, that is a new one for us. Lonnie's on assignment. We should be seeing him next week, I believe. I don't remember what his assignment schedule looks like, but I know this week we did not have him. 1 second here. As we are wont to do, we usually start the show off with our questions. And since I'm doing this live, just letting our Diamond members know that they can join the Diamond only live stream, which is a perk of StackedPoints.com with the Diamond level membership. Can't talk tonight, which is great. So our first question comes from M2K. M2K asks, if you had to use a Bilt 2.0 card as your only card for 2026, which card would you choose, and how would that impact your point earnings and traveling? Craig, you had the funnier answer in the pre-show.
I'm not going anywhere this year. Not a single darn place. And with a new human, a pulled tooth, and a very, very pregnant human in my house right now. And we're getting to the waddle phase. Nothing is changing for me. What'd you say?
The waddle phase.
Oh, it's hilarious because, so fun fact, I have huge children. My son was 23 inches and 9.5 pounds. This baby's on track to be a 10-pounder, maybe 11. We don't think she's going to make it all the way. We're thinking it's probably going to be an early one where it's like, hey, get this little person out of me. But keeping that in mind, I'm not traveling. So for me, unfortunately, I'm going to go with the Palladium card because I can't afford to not get at least 2x on groceries. And we have not eaten. It's odd.
Wouldn't
Somehow,
the Obsidian work better for that? Because then you'd get 3x on grocery.
but it's not unlimited, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's up to
25,000.
25,000.
Yeah, we're not doing that. I'm going to be out of groceries by the time August rolls around. July?
That's fair.
July. We haven't been eating out, so it's crazy. But yeah, so for me, I'm going to spend I can tell you all, I have been disconnected because Bilt is so disinteresting. Is it $4.95, $5.95?
$4.95 for the
$4.95.
Palladium, $95 for the Obsidian. No
Yeah.
annual fee for the blue.
I'm going to go with the $4.95. I will try to figure out Bilt Cash. I'll try to put my mortgage on there. Then Rocket Mortgage will probably flag me as fraud, and then I'll get kicked out, and then I'll be homeless. And then I'll have to come live with Matt.
Oh, no, absolutely
And
not.
Matt will have to feed everybody that lives in my home.
I can't feed everybody that lives in your home. I can't be in my homestead where I live. I can't say homestead where I live, and I can't support like the second household that I'm financially in charge of. No.
Okay, hear me out. I'll trade you financial responsibility if you just take all the 7 big backs that will not leave my home. I'll feed them. You can just take them. I'll give you the feed. You do like horses, just throw a trough on the back of the necks.
Kat and I drop them off at the Credit Shifu's Airbnb, which is like an hour from my house.
I'm going to be honest. He looks like the type of guy that has twin long beds those bodies aren't going to fit there.
That would not be my problem. They'd have the rest of the house.
You know what? Go for it.
Perfect.
But only if you pay him in Air Singapore miles.
No, he gets like whatever amount of Bitcoin I might be able to rustle out of someone. I'll go steal a Bitcoin wallet.
At this point, 3 Bitcoins is like $2.
3 Bitcoins is still at least $130,000. So
fair enough. I was trying to be funny. I apologize.
No, I know. I just need to steal one of them wallets with 50 Bitcoins in it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of dead wallets out there. So many.
There's a lot of people that are refusing to sell. And I was like, hey, guys, you can buy back in.
Huddle.
It's got to keep going.
I bought in at 3,000. You don't understand.
Anything like that is all profits for me. And I was like, all right. I have a coworker that is probably 22 years old, and we were on a call trying to explain to my 73-year-old benefits director crypto. And she's just sitting there. I was like, you know what? This nice old Delco woman is going to curse you out if you don't be quiet in the next 3 seconds.
It's all whose line is in any way rolls. The points are made up and nothing matters.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right.
But there's no Wayne Brady.
No, we're Brad Sherman.
Oh, Brad Sherman.
Ryan Stiles.
Think about it.
Yeah. Anyway, RJ, you're stuck with Bilt for a year.
I'm not talking about Bilt for a year either. Either way, so
you don't have to nail yourself to your Palladium in this case.
I think I'd probably still take the Palladium. Like, at least it gives me priority pass if it's the only card I have, which is not my preferred way of getting a lounge, but at least it will let me into a lounge. I still get the 2x. I get the hotel credits. Like, I at least have. So how could I, as a platinum user, how could I go a year without credits, man? How is that possible?
So freaking easily, it's not even funny.
But I have my spreadsheet that I put my credits on, and it makes me happy when I get to cross them out. I wouldn't have that if I had the other cards. So it would, in all seriousness, it would be the Palladium. It's also really easy. It's 2x everything. 3x for me right now because I did the boost. So, like, it's real easy.
And you could still purchase yourself a Delta Sky Club membership either for $1,500 or $700, depending on what flavor you're feeling.
I could use the Delta Sky Club to hit my sub, and then I don't have to worry about it.
I had no idea that the Delta Sky Clubs were so ridiculously expensive. I've never gone into one outside of having a platinum.
The $1,500 one includes an unlimited club access for the member and up to 2 guests. What's the difference? Hold on. Membership.
God.
There's no difference whatsoever.
Yes, there is. Hold on.
Okay.
I have to open it up, but hold on.
Anyway, yeah, I think the Palladium is a fair choice across the board. $4.95 annual fee. You do get that 50,000 point welcome offer. You do get Bilt Gold status for whatever that's worth on transfer bonuses. I would just decline. I would just nope out of Bilt Cash completely.
What? You don't want 4x Bilt Cash on everyday spend, man?
And then let it expire at the end of the year because, oh no, I didn't cobble together enough to, or I didn't, maybe Point Accelerator, maybe. But that's $200 a pop.
Let's be real. You want that Lululemon gift card.
I would rather jump out of a cargo plane.
Their socks are really nice. Lululemon socks are legit very nice. Also, the executive membership, the 2 guests are free. The individual membership, you have to pay for your guests. For Delta Sky Club. That is the difference. I'm just telling you what the differences are, Matt. I'm not pro or against these particular prices. I'm telling you that there is a difference.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, Palladium just seems like the easiest answer across the board. Like, you could do Point Accelerator and Obsidian and 4x your grocery spend up to 25,000 and oh look, I found a Amex Gold Killer. okay, you didn't, but thanks for playing. And then you just get to play with the monopoly money that is Bilt Cash.
In
It's
fairness,
not.
isn't all of this monopoly money?
Points and miles largely is just monopoly money.
It's honestly, Bilt Cash is dumb, but it hasn't been that intrusive to deal with so far.
No, it's not so much that it's intrusive. It's just mind garbage that I don't want to think about.
Having 2 point systems in your product is stupid, but at least it hasn't been ultimately annoying.
Yeah.
I have a sub question within a sub question now. Matt, does it make you more upset to have Bilt Cash and Bilt Points in the same ecosystem, or whatever the amalgamation of US Bank is?
So to me, US Bank is just the Aaron Rodgers of banks. They are on their darkness retreats doing God knows whatever it is that they're doing in their darkness
So much
retreats.
ayahuasca.
All the ayahuasca, like they're just taking ayahuasca all day, every day. That can't be helped. It could be helped if they choose to get the help. What Bilt did was they were like, hey, American Airlines has loyalty points. We want to model something like that, but we want to make it far more complicated, and we want people to just mentally give up. And then mentally giving up is far more valuable to us because then we don't have to pay shit out. They could have just had Bilt Cash be like the status marker and be like, you've earned this much Bilt Cash. Like, how do I get to Bilt Silver? Earn 10,000 Bilt Cash. How do I get to Bilt Gold? Earn 25,000 Bilt Cash. How do I get to Bilt Platinum? Earn 250,000 Bilt Cash. It's not that hard, guys. How do I get to Bilt Secret Friend? Earn 1 million Bilt Cash. If you're going to model yourself, Mr. Kerr said that the model for it was loyalty points. Loyalty points don't get exchanged for anything. Loyalty points are just a blip on the scale for what status you get with American Airlines. It's a really simple system to know. 1 mile that you earn in base mile earning equals 1 loyalty point, with the exception of hotels through the hotel portal and shopping portal and Simply Miles. But those are just extra blips on the chart, whereas Bilt Cash is just funny money.
Do you need a hug, Matt? Because it seems like you need a hug.
I just need far more alcohol than in my life right now.
Yeah, I can understand.
You could buy alcohol with Bilt Cash.
Or get Bilt Cash for buying alcohol.
Oh, even better. It feeds itself. There we go.
But scotch?
Gold labels, which I respect myself too much, and I respect this bottle too much to just slam it from the bottle.
Fair.
So, yeah, I think the simple answer across the board for the Bilt 2.0 card would you just hold for a year is going to be Palladium. There are going to be so many cancellations in year 2. I cannot wait.
It's a cool card.
I mean, if you got the mirror finish, yeah.
I don't know. I don't have mine yet because they have messed it up.
What?
What?
Oh,
We were
did you
promised
not-
a seamless transition.
Did you not hear about that, Craig?
I have been in the trenches of a daily 9 to 5. I am so sorry.
So
Whatever
I got
the
my
opposite
card.
of Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca retreats are, that's what Craig's been doing.
So I got my card and the package was open and it looked like it had been like pulled out. So I called them and I'm like, hey, I need to get a new card. I am not using this card. She says, okay, we'll print you one. It'll take some time. I called the next day. The guy said they'd FedEx it. It should be here Friday. Not here. Still doesn't even show as shipped in the portal. So I don't have the physical card.
Huh. Can I just
Yeah.
throw out a random? Because I also had, so I lost my wallet, found my wallet, but card's not in there. But they gave me my wallet back, which was really nice. Citi shipped my cards overnight. No
Yeah.
charge.
Cardless will not do that.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would also help to have an issuer and issuing fintech entity that like had customer service available separate from the non-existent customer service at the fintech that is on its 3rd issuer and still refuses to acknowledge that customer service is a basic thing that you should do if you're issuing a credit card through any other partner.
Yeah. I'm going to be
Mayhaps you
calling
should-
them tomorrow.
Mayhaps you should go to Reddit.
Reddit as your customer service base and Reddit as your corporate communication strategy is indication that you don't know what you're doing.
I love that we can make everything built. Like John Green and tuberculosis. Like, we can get there. Give us a few minutes and we'll Wikipedia ourselves.
I am constantly like 2 degrees from Bilt at this point. My video that I did today was like what the other companies could do to respond to Bilt. And I was just like, you know what? I just can't make another video ranting about Bilt leadership. I want to, because it's absolutely unacceptable that no one has gotten fired for this and no one has stepped down for this.
Yeah.
Next question.
Thanks, M2K. Let's move to our next question coming from Kirby G. What are the Stack Your Points goals for 2026? Any sub goals, subscriber goals, or viewership goals, or merch goals, etc.? This coming from Kirby G. RJ, you run this ship primarily. What we got cooking this year?
So we are currently working on merchandise. I have ordered all of the samples. I ordered 1 sample of every product to make sure that the graphics print correctly and things aren't like weird or just not in the way they should be. We've got a couple of mugs. We've got stickers. We've got shirts. I think I have 4 currently. So that should hopefully, if I get them, they look good and my co-hosts approve it, the store will go up at that point. That should be within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to take a look at our programming lineup and how we do it to see. We do the live on Thursday. The live on Thursday isn't going anywhere. The show coming out Wednesday, Friday isn't going anywhere. But taking a look to see if we can do any supplemental stuff. We don't do anything really Monday, Tuesday as far as content. We were putting out the single topics and the single questions. We actually got better response rates when we took those away. So we will not be bringing those back specifically, but see if there's anything Monday, Tuesday we can do. Be it another live, be it maybe a mini live that's more targeted. Our Thursdays are wandery, which is by design. Like, we've designed them to be that. But we can always do something more targeted at different times. I have a couple of ideas for like shorter interview style stuff to do as well. There's quite a bit. We're taking a look. I don't have any specific subscriber goals or viewership goals. It's more just, okay, we've been doing this for about 1.5 years. We've gotten to the 1,000. Let's see from a content perspective, from a work perspective, from a flow perspective, what we can do. And then reassess more like June, July, and see if it's working versus putting in a hard goal.
Yeah, we recently hit 1,000, so that's cool. I would love to see it keep growing, obviously. I think we also may want to start looking at like the audio side of things just to make sure that we could potentially expand reach there, but that's not really a hard and fast goal. I realize we were I know we distribute through the Apple Podcast like dictionary or whatever that backend is through Podbean. But like,
we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're basically anywhere that you can get a podcast.
Yeah. Do that through Podbean's like RSS feed. I'm curious to see what because it's been a while since I went back and looked at any reviews or star ratings or anything like that elsewhere. Like, I realized that Stacy from Stacy's Points, and Stacy, I'm blanking on your channel's name, I'm sorry. Stacy mentioned that she listens to stuff through Spotify. When Spotify, I was like, oh, we have a 4.6. That's good.
Yeah.
It's 6 reviews, but that's a 4.6. Hey, we should probably be looking for more reviews and stuff like that. Or at least like more stars. You guys don't have to leave reviews. That's fine. Your vitriol
no,
at me
please
is
leave
hilarious.
reviews. It definitely helps the algorithm. Like,
It does.
comments and reviews are some of the best things you can do that have nothing to do with monetary value.
Yes. That would be a huge help. And if you want to keep throwing your vitriol at me, I'm here for all the smoke. Ain't gonna change me. So, yeah. One thing I think I'd like to dig in a little bit more on it would be like our analytics off of YouTube, because our analytics on YouTube, we're in a pretty good spot, but Spotify, Overcast, Icecast, Pocket Cast, whatever cast. Like, we're not as there across the board. You're muted, RJ.
Those are all Apple backend.
Okay.
So though they almost no podcast player outside of Spotify has their own backend. It's all running off of Apple off of other podcast dictionaries.
Do they have their own rating systems?
They might have their own rating systems, but almost all of that is going to be fed from Apple.
Yeah.
Apple is the biggest podcast directory of anybody. So almost all of those podcasts are just calling the Apple feed, whether you're on Android or not.
That's true. So, yeah, I think that's a nice place to see where we go with 2026 for sure. Craig, any show-related goals on your end?
Maybe not a 2026 goal, but some type of physical meetup just with us and figuring out like an official, hey, we're meeting here, and tell us your points of miles travel and how you get there.
Yeah. RJ and I were toying with the idea of doing something at Citi Field in July.
Yes, the Red Sox and the Mets are playing each other. So baseball.
Can't say we'll necessarily do a meetup at the Brickyard.
We'll fight. I still think Cooperstown would be a fun one.
Cooperstown could be a fun one. I was also trying to think of other places in the Midwest.
Chicago would be cool.
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
I was thinking Philly too. Philly's a good one.
Philly's a good one.
And Craig knows how to get there.
Sure does.
In every possible way. I even get there by boat.
Why? Wait, how?
If you go down the Mississippi and then around the East Coast, you can get into Philly Harbor.
Even quicker, go through Lake Michigan over the Erie Channel, the canal down. And that is like, how the hell do you know that?
No, because I was thinking like you'd be going up the Ohio and then trying to go across the Susquehanna.
That too. I don't want to hit any otters though. Like I would feel bad if I hit a Schuylkill mermaid.
I appreciate that you pronounced it properly.
I've lived there for darn near 10 years. I'd be upset. There is nothing scarier than watching a dive team go down there and you don't know, are they practicing or are they actually looking for a body?
You know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's fair.
You know exactly what they're doing in the Schuylkill.
You're just sitting there
Really
looking at your office window. You're like, oh, that's concerning.
This really is the tangent chosen.
It really is. If you don't want to see those sites that you see in the Schuylkill with the Schuylkill diving, live along the Monongahela.
Pollution. That's why the EPA is here.
Oh, that's more the Allegheny. No, that's both.
RJ is so disappointed with us.
No, RJ's just going, why is Matt picking up the tangents from Lonnie?
You aren't even picking them up. You're multiplying them. You're like Craig at a grocery store.
No, I'm like Amex with their potato cannon.
Because you multiply the points because...
Damn it.
I couldn't tell if that was a grocery joke or because I'm having a kid joke, but either way it worked and I loved it.
Oh, you know what? No, before I go on my next tangent, not going to touch that one because that's not multiplication, sir. That's just addition.
Moving on.
Anyway, with the exception of twins, in which case that's exponential. What is your order of operations when it comes to booking a hotel or flight? For example, do you prioritize expiring credits or point stacks first? Is cash last on that list? This coming from Double Animal Fries. And I will turn to Craig first on this.
So for me, for flights, and RJ is going to be upset, AA was always going to be my first choice purely because of the status, right? There's no other reason. I realize it's an inferior product and that I'm okay with. Sir, you're drinking scotch out of a mug. You don't get to make that face.
Sure am.
What is today's episode?
Hashtag Matt's a jerk.
Yeah. But yeah, so for flights at least, I'm going to prioritize AA. Unless I need to make more than one connection or my connection is less than an hour. If it's a less than an hour connection, I'm just going to pick something completely different. Now, what I will say is, if it's just a city that is truly like, this is a Delta city or this is a United city, I'm not going to be difficult. I'm just flying Delta or United. For example, I'm not flying AA into Denver. That's just stupid. Unless you're flying out of Chicago. I'm not flying AA or United into Atlanta. That's just nonsense. I'm not doing that. And then to a certain degree now, while I currently have to pay for 3 bodies, soon I will have to pay for 4. So that then gets to what is the cheapest route? So for an individual, I can be as picky as I want. For a family of 4, 3, and then in 2 years from now, 4, which I still think it's ridiculous that I have to pay full price for a 2-year-old. They're going to be in my lap anyway. For hotels, I'm far less discerning. Where do I want to be? That's the primary thing. And then if there's a better location, I'm going to go with the better location. Unless the other option is truly just head and shoulders above that, okay. But the location is going to be my first and most primary indicator of process there for hotels. Then we'll get into, do I have points with this location? And if I do, great. Do I have enough to pay for this? If not, I'm hoping that it's either an IHG or Hilton, because then I can do a points and money. Marriott is weird because some hotels will allow you to do that, some will not. It's dependent upon what the hotel ownership group is. Because, as with all things, Marriott is inconsistent in all things they do. But what I will say is, I'm not prioritizing any particular brand outside of location, cleanliness. Cash, I'm, contrary to belief to this being a Points and Miles podcast, I'm not opposed to paying for cash for things because it helps me to replenish my points and miles stash. Unlike some of our other co-YouTubers in the space, I cannot generate an endless amount of points purely based on subs and subs alone. I get a lot of subs, but not enough to just say that this is the only avenue or ribbon of point generation for me. So it's something nice to say that I'm going to get 23.5 Marriott points or 34 Hilton or 26 IHG. It's just, It's nice to have. So for me, I think that is the process there. Cash, if it's a great price, awesome. If I just have the points, sure, I'll burn the points, but I don't think that there's any indicator for Veep there. I will try to do a little bit of math, not enough math to make RJ upset, but they're just kind of spitball litmus tests, like broad approach. Is this a good deal? Right. I'm not spending 80,000 points on a Hampton Inn. I don't care how nice the Hampton Inn is. I'm just not doing that. But on the flip side, I'm also not going to pay $400 for a Hampton Inn, and in which case I'll probably give you those 80,000 points. But location dependent still. So that's just me. Cash, I think we undervalue it, and we undervalue the simplicity of just paying for something with money and getting points in return.
At the end of the day, that is always a decent enough option. Like, why we play the game. RJ, how do you approach it?
So I do look at if I have Delta State credits, I have FHR, I have a bunch of different options on the hotel side. I figure out if it's me or if it's like a family trip or a friend or something like that, right? Because that's going to change it. If it's me, I am an easier, like I know myself, right? Like I know what I will and will not put up with. If it's my parents, if it's a family trip, I have to, I am a good enough daughter. I am not getting myself a club room and then putting them in like the single king room on like the first floor, right? So if I'm doing a trip where it's all of us, we're going to have at least equal-ish rooms, right? Like I might get upgraded when I get there because of my status, but I'm not going to put them on the bottom to start with, right? I'm going to be a nice daughter. So it depends on who's going on the trip, things like that. It depends, like, if I have points, I'll take a look at using them. If it's a really good cash price, I might just pay cash because cash gets me points at hotels, gets me a lot of points at hotels. I will also see if Delta is doing a MQD boost on their hotels. I booked a couple of hotels to end cap a trip. Through Delta, I'm getting like 800 or 900 MQDs for the trip. just for that. So if they're doing a promo, I will look there. I will double check the price to make sure I'm not getting my face ripped off. But if it's $30 different, I'll take the MQDs. So for me, MQDs are nice enough where I don't mind doing that, right? It just makes it easier. So I'll do that. Flights, it's gonna be Delta. So do I have Delta credits? Do I have whatever, right? Like I'm gonna go Delta. So that I don't super take a look at backdooring just because I know my airport, I know my flight preferences, and I just rock there. I do not have a problem paying cash. Like I probably pay cash for about 70% of my travel. Like almost all of my flights are cash. And then I'll do 1 or 2 really good redemptions a year. But I do that by having cash for a decent number of my travel. So I have zero problem with that. I am in this game for perks and for experiences and things like that. I am not here for some mythical, like, never spend money ever. So just not what I'm here for. So yeah, that's the process.
That makes sense. For me, when it comes to flights, one, can I get there on JetBlue? And if I can't get there on JetBlue, what's the next best way to get there that isn't relying on Spirit or Frontier? Because God help me, no. Or Elegant, which again, God help me, no. So just figuring
You don't
things
want
out
a
from
Louis
there.
bag, Matt?
No,
Lame.
I don't. No, I know what they are at retail, and just no.
Flying on Spirit.
Flying on Spirit, yeah. No, because I will not be alive by the end of that flight.
I'm so sorry. I have to say this. I was at the gas station and I saw somebody in a Canada Goose coat and they got $13.82 worth of gas.
What fucking cheapskate?
No, Matt, we were in there and he said, let me get $13.82 on 7. And I go, you have a $1,500 coat on, sir.
With some of the most obnoxious marketing in the world.
Right? But I was just like, priorities here, people. Priorities. I digress. I apologize.
This is somebody who must have calculated out and been like, I need exactly $13.82 of gas to get to where I'm going and back, and I have to expense this.
That, or they only had $13.82 in that account.
But they just blew $1,500 on a jacket.
And a Ram 3500. So yeah. RGB's on the bottom too. Lifted. Good times.
Take the cannoli, leave the Canada Goose. Anyway, order of operations. Can I get there via JetBlue? If I can get there via JetBlue, start with my points from there. Pay cash to upgrade because I don't have status with JetBlue to just book the extra legroom seats to start. I will just pay my way into it and start earning back some of those points that I'm burning and get the 10% back because I hold one of the JetBlue credit cards. Otherwise, mix of points and miles. Can I get there? Do I have to fly Delta? Can I burn Virgin points with Delta to do this? Do I have to use Air France points to do this with Delta? Yes, no, okay. Can I get there via United? What's the easiest way to do that? I should probably start investing points in Air India for domestic United flights because 3,500 points for domestic United. Yeah, Air India is the new sweet spot that nobody's going to be talking about for a little while. Because the only way to get it is Rove. Disclaimer. Do I have to do the full disclaimer? I moderate a Facebook
you didn't
group.
Cash
for
out all
Rove.
those Mesa points?
Psh, Mesa? No. Talk about
Doesn't
high
have a mortgage.
I'm in New York. I haven't. No, absolutely not. Yet I want one, but no. That is like
Do
a
the
2028
disclosure.
goal.
Do the full disclosure.
I moderate a Facebook group for Rove called Rove Travel Deals. Rove gives me 5,000 miles every month to moderate the group. Closure over.
Yeah.
Yes. Carissa loves the work that I do and loved my last Rove video. Anyway, so
They do not have editorial decisions over Matt's video. There's my disclaimer to people.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Carissa will not be happy with me the first time I take them out to the woods with a bat. which they'll deserve at some point. And when they deserve it, I'm going to say they deserve it. Like every company I take to the woods. Anyway, booking hotel. Where am I going? What's available? Which type of hotel do I want to stay at? Is there a Hyatt that's worthwhile to burn points at? Yes. Cool. I'll book the Hyatt. Is there a Hilton that's like moderately priced? And can I just pay cash for that Hilton? And am I going to a Hilton once a quarter? Yes. So that I can use my $50 properly. Do I have to just settle for an IHG, which isn't really settling because I've got IHG Platinum now? Nope. It's not settling. I'll go with a nice IHG if it comes to it. I'm pretty open-ended with what hotel I'm going to go to, how I'm going to process things. I feel like the last time I went to a Choice, I actually burned Wells Fargo points to do it, but I can't remember if I did. But I got options across the board. See what's there, see where I want to go, and how many points it's going to cost me. And how many do I have to transfer over? How many gets it done? And is it worthwhile to do points versus cash? Because if it's like a $200 a night hotel and I'm only going to be there for 2 nights, maybe it's worth paying the $400 if I'm going to get 34 points per dollar or 30 points per dollar from Hilton. Like that's a quick 1,200 points versus spending what, 80 or 90,000, depending on the type of hotel that it is. Because when you see Hampton Inns and Hampton Inn Suites with 70,000 a night requirements, 70,000 points a night requirements, nah, man, just pay the cash. That is not. There is no Hampton Inn in the world that I would want to pay 70,000 points for.
See, maybe it's just me. I don't like, and when I say I don't care, I don't mean that flippantly, right? Like, I don't rank. Like, yeah, if it's a nicer hotel, if it has amenities, cool. But like, I look at it as, will I pay 70,000 a night to have a hotel room? Will I? Yes. Is this hotel in a convenient location? Does it get good reviews? Yes. Cool. Like, I'm not shopping the brand so much as, do I have a place? Is there food potentially? That's how I'm looking at it. I'm not like, oh my God, it's a Hampton Inn. No. How will I ever see myself in the morning?
For me, like my point stash with Hilton is significantly lower than most others. Like the
I
reason
mean that
haven't
for
seen
anything, right? IHG or Marriott, like, I don't care what brand, sub brand you are.
Yeah.
If you're good and get good, I'd rather stay at a 4.9 Hampton Inn than a 3.2 Conrad, even if they're the
That's
same points per night.
that's
I think
true. But a
I think
3.2
it
Conrad.
depends on what that 3.9 is, because there's just a quality difference, right? Like, I'll say this, there are plenty of luxury hotels that are absolutely garbage. The Ritz-Carlton in Philadelphia, not even worth the concrete that building is made on. But I also don't think that is the norm for those level of hotels. And so I think where people might give a negative review is because certain things didn't meet their expectation, although there might be a higher level of quality for things. But if I'm paying $500 a night, I expect to be wowed, and instead you got a room that faced the HVAC.
But I close my curtains. I don't care what the view looks like. And this is a me thing, right? Like, we've talked about this. Like, I don't need multiple rooms. I close the curtains immediately. Like, those are things about me. I don't drink, so I don't go to most on-site restaurants because most of them are around bars, and doesn't interest me, right? So like all of those things, I think, is why when I see 70,000 points a night, I'm like, yeah, I'll pay that for a night. So
Yeah, it's just I've become acquainted with the 70,000 point a night Hampton Inn, and I barely like paying the cash price for it, and I definitely don't want to spend that many points for it.
I'm using Hampton Inn as a stand-in for
Yeah.
anything. I just,
Oh yeah.
once you
I'm
get to
just
a certain level, I don't care.
yeah. I'm just using one particular Hampton
Yeah.
Inn.
Yeah. Fair.
Like the one that I'm specifically talking about, no, it's the cash price is okay. I would never want to spend points on that establishment unless it was If it's $200 a night and it's less than 20,000 points, yes, I would use points, but they charging 70 for that sucker. Yeah.
But think about the rolls miles, man.
Oh, no, that's why I pay cash. And it's loyalty eligible on Rove. So, yes, I could pay cash at that particular one and get my 7 times Rove miles, but no, I go to the Homewood Suites for that one. Thank you very much. Just a much better experience overall. Yeah, so expiring credits or point stacks, I will take those into account. I do have an FNC with Hilton that I got to figure out at some point. I got time. So thanks, Little, for that one. We'll move to the next question, which is, what is the best play outside of the United States that you wish you could do? RJ.
There is a card in Canada that I would like very much, and I cannot have because I do not live in Canada. It is the American Express Cobalt card. 5x on eats and drinks, so restaurant, food delivery. 3x on streaming subscriptions, 2x on gas, transit, and rideshare, 1x everything else. It's about $200 a year. If they replace the gold with this, I would still want it. I'm sorry, not the gold, the green with this. I would still want it. If they just turned that into what the green is, I'd get it tomorrow. So yeah, no. Big fan of the cobalt. Wish I could have it. I cannot have it.
No, that definitely tracks. Have you looked into setting up a PO box outside in Canada to maybe establish a way to do?
Why the fuck would I do that?
There, you basically live in Canada.
I mean,
like
yes,
syrup?
but I'm not gonna pretend I live in another country to get a credit card.
It's fair. Grab the healthcare too.
I would pretend to live in another country for the healthcare, but not for a credit card.
That's fair.
You're not in the deep enough for the love of the game, RJ. You're not committing a little fraud. I'm just saying.
Look, pitchers catchers report tomorrow for the Red Sox. I care more about that than getting a Canadian credit card that I shouldn't have.
The Red Sox and their 8-man rotations,
Gotta have options.
with Tanner Houck not being one of them. Best play outside of the U.S. that you wish you could do. I wish there was a card that gave transferable currency points, not simply Atmos points, but transferable currency points on foreign spend that isn't tied to a specific category. Yes, I know if I take my Sapphire Reserve overseas, I can easily get 3x dining. I know that I can take my Saver card overseas and get 3x on groceries. I want just an elevated foreign transaction point multiplier, or more 2% no foreign transaction fee cards that aren't just the Fidelity one, because I can't think of any others. That would be a plus. Craig,
Technically, isn't Atmos a transferable currency?
have you seen their transfer rates?
Fair enough.
It is
Keeping
cool
in
that they have
mind-
Shangri-La Circle, but
That is so cool. Those are some amazing hotels. But
each one Atmos.
yeah, it's fair. For me, it's going to be the Australian Platinum, getting 2.25x on all spending outside of governments. You get most of the current Platinum credits, and you get a dining credit, not a Resi credit, but just spend $200 inside of Australia every year, and you'll get an extra 200 when you go abroad, and you get access to the lounges. So I'm here for that.
My only problem is this is a country and continent that is actively trying to kill you all the time.
Can I tell you, I've been in love with Australia since I was a child. Like most people my age, Steve Irwin is my hero.
Sure.
And I will fight every inland brown taipan until I have won dominance and gotten my immunity up. And for those of you that don't know, an inland brown taipan is extremely aggressive and just so happens to be the world's second most deadly snake.
What about the spiders?
Now I'm not a spider guy, but I do keep a butane lighter on me and hairspray.
What about the coconut crabs?
I don't know if you know this or not, love seafood.
These are land-dwelling, ridiculous monsters on the northern end.
Oh, I know. And they ate Amy Earhart as well. But I can tear one up. We'll go for it.
What about the spider crabs?
Fair enough. You know what the real issue is? Kangaroos try to drown people.
Kangaroos in general. You think these suckers are friendly. They are not.
They are not. Kangaroos will pretend to be drowning to lure you into the water to drown you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
RJ
the
is terrified right
infected
now.
koalas.
I don't even know what we're going to title this episode.
Koalas also have chlamydia.
Oh, it's chlamydia. That's right. I'm sorry. I thought it was syphilis.
No, chlamydia.
Yeah. And then there's the duckbill platypus.
We don't even talk about that guy.
Again,
Chill
hashtag-
dude though. Love his Vegemite.
The only platypus I trust is Perry.
I don't know. I've got some tension with Perry, and I'll explain that when we're not being recorded.
Okay. Fair enough. All right.
This is what I wish Lonnie was here right now, because this joke would land fantastically. But we're going to hold off on that.
Womp womp. All right. Cool. Thanks, Chris. Our next question comes again from Little Animal Fries, who asks, I'm in my sit on my hands because I got too many cards last year phase. What phase are you in? Lonnie, of course. Yeah. RJ, what phase are you in?
You
It's
saved
okay,
it. You were going to say Craig. It was on the tip of your tongue.
People confuse me and Lonnie all the time. It's fine. I am also in the I got too many cards last year phase. I am also in the work to welcome offers at the same time phase. I am working the Bilt and the gold at the same time. Thankfully, one is 3 months and one is 6 months. So yeah, I am doing that right now. Yeah, I don't expect to apply for anything for the rest of the year. But every time I say that, Matt makes raccoon hands and I end up with a new credit card.
I didn't even touch the no lifetime language offer for you. You did that yourself.
I had you in the back of my head making your freaking raccoon hands as the link showed up in my email. That is what haunts my dreams, is that image of Matt right.
That is not my fault. Craig, what phase are you in?
I am in the phase of
Being terrified by my raccoon hands now.
Yes, which is just, God, that is going to be my paralysis demon tonight. And I hate it. Just this man with a silky beard sitting on my chest going, yes. I am currently in the phase of I want more cards. I cannot justify more cards because I don't have any use for the points at the moment in time. And I'm of the mindset that if I am accumulating points through spend, awesome, right? But there's no point for me to just be out here grabbing new cards. RJ and Space Co were actually talking me off the ledge of getting a new card just yesterday. I have an upgrade offer in my Amex offers right now for going from the Delta Gold to the Delta Business Platinum. 50,000 points for 8,000 in spend, which terrible deal, by the way. But you would get the companion fare, which now that I've looked more into it, that RJ and Spaceco have given me some insight, also a terrible companion fare. Like the reserve is the only one that's worthwhile as far as companion fares go. But yeah, for me, I'm holding, but not because I've gotten too many cards, because I just have no use for the points at the moment in time.
That's completely fair. Yeah, for me, I'm in a position where if I wanted to go get cards, I could probably go get whatever I want. Assuming they accept me. Because the last card I applied for, 124, I got rejected by Chase, which probably was an allocation thing, honestly. And like I could probably just reduce some of my limits on a couple of my cards. Likely the Sapphire Reserve, because that thing doesn't need to be $32,000. I could probably drop that by $12,000 and be fine. And give myself another $12,000 of space for other cards from Chase. But I'm not going to worry about that right now because there's not really a card out there from Chase that I really absolutely have to add to my wallet. I would like to get a United card at some point if the United Bilt, not Jesus Christ, the United JetBlue membership, the United JetBlue Alliance becomes more bountiful for flyers in both programs. That hasn't happened yet, so I don't really see the need to grab a United card just yet. I have no interest in City cards because City cards, the only category that City has that is different than anything I have with Chase or Wells Fargo right now is grocery, and I'm getting grocery on my Hilton card. It's not the greatest return, but hey, it's predictable. So I've got that. There are cards that may or may not launch in 2026 that I would be interested to get. And so I'm keeping my applications low on. Also, I'm just kind of content with the systems that I have. Like, I've got membership reward points that I haven't burned yet. And I haven't been adding to my membership reward point stack just because I don't really have a need to do so. I've got Wells Fargo points. I would like to build more Wells Fargo points. My only play with Wells Fargo would be to try to upgrade my checking account to a premier checking account and then applying for the new updated version of the autograph journey that's going to have 100,000 points and is a $95 Visa Infinite card. That sounds really interesting, but I don't have a need necessarily to do that other than I want 100,000 Wells Fargo points.
I think one thing to note for our dear listeners is most of us, and Lonnie is included in this, are pretty set in our own personal rotations, right?
Yeah.
I am not suddenly going to go out and like just decide AA everything, right? I'm not going to do ladder emojis version of I must get AA status in this particular way, right? I'm just not going to do that. We love talking about credit cards. We find credit cards interesting. We find the systems interesting. We find the questions interesting. But most of the time for us, our personal cards are separate from what we find interesting in the credit card space.
Yeah, I'm largely set unless I decided to move all in with American Airlines. Like that would open up a whole new slate of cards for me to go after, but I'd have to actively move to American Airlines. Like I just got an American Airlines offer today. Since I don't actively fly American Airlines, I don't have a reason to go after American Airlines. Same is true with United, same is true with Delta. There really aren't that many hotel cards that I actively want to go after until a rumored new World of Hyatt card comes out, which we don't know if or when that will be. I would like to add if there's a card that comes out between the Sapphire Preferred and the Sapphire Reserve. Maybe I want to add that because I could always product change into a Sapphire Preferred or cancel one of my cards and apply for a Sapphire Preferred. Do something like that. But like right now, there's not a ton of cards that I absolutely have to go out and acquire. If I wanted to wait for the Ink Preferred to go up to 100,000 points, maybe I would grab that just to grab another 100,000 Chase points. But again, there's nothing out there that I actively have to have. Right. So there's that. But I do like to be in a position where it really doesn't matter what card I attempt to go after. I'm set. Like I can go get whatever I want, whenever I want. Assuming the lender will give to me, which is a nice place to be. Maybe I'll go grab a couple of 24-month balance transfer business cards just to see what happens. Because Elan is silly. So there you go. Yeah. I didn't rush out and grab too many cards last year. I'm okay with where I'm at right now and just trying to corral my partner's spend so that we can do other things with money and points. So there you go. Our last question comes from ShabbyOlCloak, who asks, if you had to pick one mid-tier and one premium tier card, but from two different issuers, what combination would you pick? Feel free to define the tiers as you see fit. This is coming from ShabbyOlCloak. And Craig, one premium and one mid-tier from two different issuers.
So I'm going to say that a mid-tier card is anything that is not that $500 plus range of card and doesn't offer some form of a perks or benefits or status in that capacity, right? For me, my high tier luxury X-esque card is actually going to be not the American Express Platinum that Matt is expecting me to say. It is going to be the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I think if I'm looking at only having 2 cards and thinking about what does spend need to look like for that, covers my dining, covers my pretty much essentially all my travel, right? Will I be getting 1x on car rentals and some other stuff? Sure, but eh. The second card for me is going to be something that I'm going to need to get some of that food grocery spending. And for that, I'm going for the American Express Gold card. I think between the two of those, that can, actually, I take that back. I'm going to go with the City Strata Premier. So, and the only reason there, I think it just fits a better niche that the Sapphire Reserve has. So gas is covered, groceries is covered, dining, most of my travel, just generalized travel is covered. So I think that's a good combination. It's also 2 sets of partners that I relatively enjoy. So Hyatt, I'll make it work, but United is my secondary airline. I enjoy that. I love, even though I'm not traveling right now, a Sapphire Lounge. I think they are the best look clubs in the airport game domestically. And then City, I actually have no complaints about City right now, outside of they will not give me an increased credit limit for my grocery spend. So halfway through the month, I have to stop using that card and go back to my gold card. I realize Matt's going to say, if you have no complaints, but you have nothing good to say, it's not really a great credit card. But I think that it's a good card for the niche that I have.
When did I say that?
Oh, no, I was just trying to percolate what might come out of there.
Fair enough. RJ, 1 mid-tier, 1 premium. 2 different issuers. What you got?
CSR and Amex Green. Hear me out. Because
You've broken Craig's brain.
How dare you?
The 2 issuers, the 2 point systems I care about are Delta and Hilton on the Amex side and IHG on the other side. Right? So I need something that works with those 3. I thought about going Delta Reserve and then something else, but the problem is like I can go Delta Reserve and IHG or IHG Premier, but then I don't have any other play, right? Like I don't have any other thing but those 2 ecosystems. They're non-transferable, right? So at that point, I'm completely locked in and the spending categories are not great. Sapphire Reserve would annoy me. I would complain about it the entire year, but it still is a functional travel card, right? Like I still can just buy the $700 Delta Sky Lounge pass, go through the Chase portal for flights, be annoyed the entire time, but I can do it, right? And then on the other side, the Amex Rain covers dining. If I want to put it on there, it covers travel and transit. So while I would be annoyed the entire time, I think that's a better play because the preferred doesn't give me as far as the green gets me. And I don't want, again, like the autograph would be great in theory, but I would just cash it out. So I would have a 3% card and cash it out and be annoyed that way. You know what I mean? Like if I have to go with 2 different issuers, I have to, based on the CSP not being great, I have to go with the green. That means I have to go with something else. The Sapphire, at least I can get to IHG. I don't like it. I don't like that that's my answer. But I don't see another way around it. Because my other options are what? The Venture X and the City card. The City has less for me than Chase does. It's just simply, I could go the Palladium, right? Like I could put that on top in theory, but I don't think that's better. I could use like we've talked about the Sapphire Reserve enough. Like I know I can use those credits. I would be grumpy the entire year, but I could do it. So
Grumpy RJ would be fun.
You're going to see me grumpy with the Bilt card. Don't ask for more than that, Matt.
I think if we forced you to get an AA and a Bilt card, Matt is only right for you to either get a Fair Winds visa or a a business platinum.
I can make the Fairwinds Visa maybe work. Now, we said $500 was the cutoff, right? So if a card is $495, does that count as premium or does that count as mid-tier?
I think it $495. It's premium.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think anything above the gold is probably premium.
Yeah, that felt better to say.
That's fair. Shit. All right. Premium card.
How
would
are
be
you
this-
not just going with the CSR and the autograph? Like, of all people to do
Yeah,
that combination.
Yeah, that's honestly what I was expecting.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely do that. I was going to go for the 2x base and then elevated play and just throw the palladium in there if it qualified as mid-tier because it's under $500, but like it's under $500 in the same way that the MX Platinum is under $900. It's basically $900. It's basically $500. So I would go with the CSR and the autograph, the no annual fee autograph is pretty spectacular. I could also pair it with the autograph journey and still do pretty well. I would prefer the no annual fee autograph just to get gas because I spend way too much at gas stations. Gas and transit and travel, the broadest transit and travel category imaginable, just because when you're traveling, you are using all of those other subcategories. And both cards can transfer. I can throw everything in JetBlue. I can throw into Chase's partners. I can throw into Choice if I really wanted to do something relatively like cheaper, but still get pretty good value with my points through Wells Fargo. So yeah, I'd probably just pair the Sapphire Reserve and the no annual fee autograph and just call it a day. Like it doesn't even need to be a mid-tier card. Like the autograph is one of the only, possibly the only no annual fee card that could stand and go toe to toe with a lot of the mid-tier cards with annual fees.
The problem is the partners, or do you want to cash it out, right? That's the knock against the autograph, is simply, it's a great card. What do you do with this? And for you, JetBlue works, right? There are plays. You're also next to New York City, which gives you access to all of the airports, right? Like that's the thing. Literally, you could get to Newark if you wanted.
I could. Newark just...
It's
right,
Newark,
but like you have so much access to things that something like any of the major, like you could literally make American Express, Chase, Citi, Wells Fargo, even US Bank work if you really wanted to. Like you could make any ecosystem work because of proximity.
Yeah. I can book everything. I can book pretty much most of my flights through the Chase travel portal, 8 times points there. Or I could do that. Book direct, it's 4. Book direct with the platinum, with the autograph, it's 3. Do my taxis, subways, whatever on the autograph. Like the only category I'm losing out on is grocery, really. Big whoop. Like grocery in general spend. If the Sapphire Reserve got a accelerator at 0.5 point, I would jump on that so fast.
I'm honestly surprised none of us went with the Venture at 2x, even though it's $95. Just a solid
I have nothing for that ecosystem.
Fair.
Everyone
rags.
rags.
Venture X, yeah.
Everyone rags on Wells Fargo's transfer partners. It's just because there's so few of them. When you look at Capital One's transfer partners, like all you really get to play with is JAL, and they did 4-3.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the hotel side.
Yeah.
You got Wyndham.
Wyndham can be valuable if you extremely cherry pick your options.
Yeah. But it's not like they have choice. They have choice at 1-to-1. Like the people who negotiate transfer rates at Capital One all need to be collectively fired.
Capital One's interesting play here is just what they're doing with Discover. I don't think anything interesting outside of that is coming out of Capital One for quite some time.
Yeah, and if they get that figured out and they get the way to bring in more of the interchange fee at a closer to Amex level of interchange fee that they get to keep because they have that closed loop system, they'll be able to start introducing more premium cards and start introducing more premium experiences and be able to give you potentially like 1.25 in their travel portal or 1.5 with their travel eraser, and that will make them interesting. We are years from
Oh,
that.
I would say
So
2029, 2030.
at the earliest, if you're lucky and they get everything to break right. Yeah. But in the meantime, like, yes, it's a good card. Yes, it's an interesting, like, flat 2x. It's long in the tooth, and they offer nothing of interest. I think Eva Air and maybe Turkish, but the Turkish play stopped. And there's nothing else that's like really interesting.
I'm just also going to say this. I've gotten to the point in life where customer service matters, and Turkish has some of the worst customer service or opportunities possible to try to get a refund or if you have to cancel a flight. And that matters to me at this point.
Yeah. No, that level of friction is just nope. So thanks, ShabbyOlCloak. Let's move over to news and topics. Did we want to talk about this weekend's Bilt launch? RJ,
I
did you have
think
any issues?
I've had many. I don't have a card, man. Like, I don't have a physical card in my hand. Yeah, there's been issues. The point guy offer does not stack with anything. So if you use points boost and had the offer, you're not getting anything extra.
Nor
That
should
people
you
found
really,
out. People found out after. Also, people are trying to get around like the taxes and the things you're not supposed to do. Cardless gonna shut some people down. That's gonna be a thing. It was not seamless. I think I'll leave it at that.
fair. Yeah, there really wasn't any other news topics. I've beaten the dead horse on Bilt at this point. Again, I have no issues with the cards. The cards are fine. I have no issues with the program. The program is one of the best. I don't trust corporate. I've lost all faith in corporate, and I do not trust cardless. Any company that just randomly shuts down all of its cards in a particular field because we're just not doing that today. No. And it's going to be really hard for me to trust Bilt corporate anytime soon. So there you go. Let's jump into our topics, and we'll start with Craig for topics this week.
Oh, this is fun. So, kicking off, it's everyone's favorite topics. How much are you spending in annual fees? Some of us on this podcast spend a little bit more than others. But keeping that in mind, what do your annual fees look like over the last kind of 12 months, right? So how have things evolved and how do you see them ending up over the next year as well? So just curious, what are your annual fees right now? Where do you expect them to be in 2027? So if you had to say by January 1 of 2027, what do you expect your annual fees to be at? And then just keeping that in mind, because I think it's important to have this conversation. So many of these big sub bonuses are tied to really expensive cards. What qualifiers, key features, perks, or benefits do you need to have in order to justify bringing in a new annual fee? And I will start with somebody that doesn't often start first and I think has massive annual fees. Matt.
I do not have massive annual fees in any way, shape, or form. Of the three people on this podcast, I have the cheapest annual fees. I am at $1,044 for the year.
You don't know that. I could have cheap annual fees.
Craig.
All right, fair. I'm sorry.
Your Sapphire Reserve and your gold card alone are equal to me. And the math is really close. Between my Sapphire Reserve, my JetBlue business card, and the Hilton Honor Surpass, I'm at $1,044. I don't, and I keep forgetting that I upgraded to the Surpass. Like, I don't know why. It's a blue card now. It's not the white card, but no, I keep blanking in my head that I upgraded to that card. I don't know where I'll be at the end of the year. Now, the Sapphire Reserve, the $300 travel credit, the $500 edit credit, relatively easy to do. There's plenty of places where booking off season, you can get close to that $500 relatively easily. And they've got the select credit for the extra $250. IHG is one of those properties. I'm looking to do a 4-night stay at the Kimpton Taconic in Vermont at some point, spend some time there. I would book 4 nights, try to combine them into one reservation. I'll take only the $100 property credit on-site property credit. Don't care, want the 4 nights. And that would get me $750 back on about $1,000 stay for 4 nights, depending on like how the nights line up. Whatever, I pay cash for the leftover, but I'm getting back $750 on that. My $300 travel credit will reset in May. The rest of the credits that pencil out on the card, the Lyft credit is maybe $40 to $60. The 300 in DoorDash is probably closer to, I have up to 600 in DoorDash, but it's probably going to be somewhere around $120 to $150, depending on things. And it remains to be seen if they'll add additional credits or additional benefits. Like when I do that IHG stay, I'll have IHG Platinum. I'll have all that's awarded to me for that. Is it the greatest? No, not necessarily, but is it going to be worth it? Probably. The Hilton, I've booked out my $200 in Hilton credits for the year. I did that through Rove, so I'm going to get Rove miles and Hilton points out of it. So I'm saving $50 per hotel. I don't know how many more Hiltons I want to be staying at, but it's always nice to have the option to do that. I have a free night certificate from that card based on spend that I can utilize. So that will go into this year's value just because it became an option for me based on of last year's spend on the Hilton Honors. That was massive. That was not me, but that was massive. So I do get that extra value. And the JetBlue card, I will probably sneak in at least 1 flight on JetBlue, hopefully 2. Free check bags more than covers it, and they give me $50 worth of points at a penny per point every year. So I get to leverage out a bunch of the credits. Are there more cards potentially? We have to see what a World of Hyatt card launch looks like this year. If there is one, we have to see if there's a reason to go after the Sapphire Preferred at the lower end. Maybe there's a card in between the Sapphire Reserve and the Sapphire Preferred that gets launched, and I could downgrade my Sapphire Reserve to that card, or apply for that card and then cancel it after a year, and then downgrade my Sapphire Reserve to that card. You just have to see what that card looks like, right? If such a card were to exist, or see what a Sapphire Preferred refresh looks like. Beyond that, I don't have significant desires for significant annual fee cards. If I were to add a Platinum for whatever reason, I'm sure I could finagle and leverage my way into pretty decent savings on that card as well. FHR, relatively easy to use for sure. Amex could further curb stomp Chase if they just decided, you know what, semi-annual is stupid. Just use that second one whenever you want. And then just win further. Yeah, so I'm at 1,044. I don't necessarily have a hard list of additional cards that I may add. JetBlue Plus is always an option just to add in more JetBlue points. If there's changes to the JetBlue Premier that could make it interesting, maybe, but adding the Plus would just be to get the welcome offer and then cancel it in a year. So, I don't know. And then I would move like as much credit line from the JetBlue Plus over to the JetBlue Business because I would get a significantly higher credit line on the JetBlue Plus. But yeah, that's all I got for now. I don't foresee significant increases to my annual fees, but I also wouldn't be surprised if I add a card or two that pushes me to $1,500 to $2,000 potentially.
Nice, thank you. And one thing I appreciate about your take here is just the unabashedly, I don't need that of it all. And I think that is something that we've, as a community, credit card points and miles YouTubers, just pressure each other into so much. But yeah, I love that you're sticking to your goals and you see it and you say, hey, these are the partners that work for me. And not because, just being realistic, out of everybody on the podcast, you have the ability to run through any sub you wanted and it'd still be viable.
Yeah.
And you could hit any sub you wanted and those points would at least remotely be viable, where for RJ, myself, not the case, and Lonnie a little bit less so, depending on where he is geographically. But yeah, thank you, sir. RJ, how
Absolutely.
about you?
I am over 4,000. I would like to get closer to 3,000. My problem is 2,200 of that is the Amex Platinum and the 2 Deltas. And I get a lot of value out of the Delta Reserves specifically and the Platinum, right? The problem is the cards, it would be the hardest to let go are the ones that are the most expensive. So even if I got rid of every other card, I'm still paying 2,200, right? That's my problem. So being closer to 3,000 versus 4,000 would be great. And it should happen, right? Like it should happen this year. It will take a little bit longer than a year because I have to wait for the Bilt card to drop off. That's the last annual fee card that I know I'm getting rid of. So once I get that done, I'll be much lower. But yeah, it's always going to be somewhere between 2,200 and 3,000 for sort of my main setup, just because those 3 cards are what those 3 cards are.
No,
It's a boring answer, but
no, not
it's
boring
the
at
MX
all.
way.
I unfortunately am in a very similar boat. I'm not quite at 4,000 anymore. I'm at 3,754. And in the last 12 months, I've cut so many cards: Business Gold, Bonvoy Business, US Bar, Venture, Venture X. So close to just $2,000 right there. I also plan on cutting my Delta Gold. I'm still in year 1 here, so I'm not paying an annual fee for that, but I also refuse to pay $150 for that. The green is getting cut this year. The Aspire is going down to a no annual fee card, and then the Brilliant probably going down to the $95 annual fee version. And the CSR is also getting cut, but we're moving up into a Ritz-Carlton, so slight discount, but still, even though I'm traveling less, love those Sapphire Lounges. For me, my goal is to get me to around $2,000, so I want to cut another $1,700. But to your point, RJ, I love my Platinum, right? Like,
Yeah.
even if it's not a spending card, the credits work for me. They work
I mean,
extremely well.
my problem is I do have a spreadsheet where I literally track all of my credits.
Yep.
And I've already, for this calendar year, I've already counted the entertainment credit, right? Because I'm going to get that every month. To me, it's silly to track something that YouTube TV is not going under $30 for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get that credit rate. I've already hit the tipping point of being over my total because of my Delta cards, right? Primarily the Delta cards. I get $2,600 just off the Delta cards already this year. So for me, it's really hard to, again, I am spending money to get some money back, right? But I'm already over my total credit card on just what I've saved already this calendar year. So it's really hard to cut cards that are getting me that much back.
No, absolutely agree with you. And again, that's where, from a daily usage standpoint, the Brilliant makes sense for me, because $25 a month plus that the free night award, it just works. The Aspire is a little bit more involved for me, but I say what you will about the credits. If they fit your lifestyle, they fit extremely well. Now, granted, these credits aren't for everybody. I think the Brilliant is probably the easiest of the high annual fees outside that works generally. And when I say that, I just mean purely ease of use, where no matter what restaurant I go to, I can get $25.
Problem is, it's a
Bonvoy
Bonvoy card.
Yeah.
And the other problem is it's $25 a month.
Do you not spend $25 a month on dining?
I do. I just wish it was just $300 all at once.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Absolutely agree with you there.
That's what I meant by the $25 a month.
Oh, the other card I'm cutting is the AA Exec. Don't know what I'm going to turn that into, but going to turn it into something. Just because, again, not traveling, and I have my status for the year. So But yeah, $2,000 is the goal. We will see if we hit it. Getting rid of the Brilliant and the Aspire would help vastly. So,
I'm
but that
going
is
to
my
say
question, and I will say thank you all, and I'm going to pass it back to our MC, Matt. Take it away.
absolutely, sir. Real quick, the funniest thing. What's your limit on your exec?
15,000.
I have the funniest thing.
What?
Drop it down to a mile up card.
Oh,
2x on groceries. 1 LP per dollar. 1 LP per mile.
that's gold status right there for the year. Nothing else, just straight up gold status.
Don't you already have status? Like, you're putting a hat on a hat at that point.
You do have to renew it. Like, you do have to find ways to renew it every year. And if he's not
Well,
traveling
now,
this year,
No, isn't it
now,
compensation, like part of your compensation package at work?
yeah. So for those that
oh,
don't know, I have a
Right.
I was
concierge
just going to
team.
cut that question.
Yeah, but yeah.
okay.
But
Yeah.
if I ever do leave this job, that is a good point to have.
I'm not seeing a cap on it. That's the only reason. Like, I know that is a high thing for you. 2x on
Oh
grocery
yeah.
store.
You know what's crazy though? I would rather get 2x in. I would take 1.5x Chase or 2x Hilt Amex over 2x AA for grocery, just for the flexibility of it.
That is completely reasonable. Yeah. No, I can absolutely understand that. I was just going for the lulz on that one.
No, I think it's a viable point. I genuinely do, right? I think if AA had the flexibility that United does, and I know that some of those programs are coming to, hopefully, knock on wood, in 2026, but right now they just don't have the flexibility for, oh, hey, I just want to get some cash back and buy a pair of headphones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right. Thanks, Craig. Let's move over to RJ and your topic.
So my topic this week is, if you are starting a credit card company, what are the first 3 to 5 partners that you would sign? I'm going to put everybody on the board. We're not going with this company is in this type of relationship with their issuer, right? Like, if you had the option to sign everybody, who would you sign? Now, I am going to put the creators agreement of don't take United, Delta, and American as your 3. Like, have some sense of propriety here. Don't take, I would like Delta, United, American, Hyatt, and Marriott or whatever. Try to have some sense. But I will leave the rest to you. Mine would be Delta. I'm sorry, God. I am predictable. It
Shocker.
would be Delta, IHG, Amtrak. Those would be my first 3. Yes, I'm focused on domestic. Is this a shock to anybody? Because it shouldn't be. But yeah, those would be my 3. Just because Amtrak is a thing that nobody else really has, and it's a little bit different. So those would be how I would start the conversations off of. And then for 4 and 5, it would be Hilton. And then, you know what? I'm going to say Enterprise. Because, again, something a little different. Craig, I'm going to go to you first, sir.
yeah. So for me, for the first one, I'm going to go Atmos. I think that they are a little bit more powerful than AA. You have some slight issues with availability, but for the most part, you can get almost anywhere within the One World team for the lowest amount of One World points. I'm going to go with, and I hate myself for this one, Marriott for the secondary. And the reason for that is because I think it gives your points a little bit more flexibility. Because if you wanted to, you can then also take those Marriott points, turn them into something else, and it gives you another parlay into points that we may not have availability to right now. Now, still Marriott points, so do with that as you see fit. And then for my third, Atmos Marriott, I think for my third one, I'm going to go with the opposite end and go with United. And the rationale there, Marriott plays really nicely with United. You can get United status from having Marriott status, and you'll get a points bonus there when you transfer over. And United status, I think, also then gives you just a little bit more flexibility as well. So, for example, you can take United points right now and transfer them into other purchasable items. And you can also leverage United Mileage X and the United Travel Portal. So it's just a lot that you can do with those points. I know people are going to say, hey, why didn't you take AA? I'm not flying in and out of Philly. So there we go.
No, that makes sense. No, I think that's a very good lineup. Matt, what do you got?
So I'm going to go with the partnership that gets really overlooked because both the airline and the hotel are in completely different cards ecosystems. And like for a little while, they were in the same. American Airlines and Hyatt, I'm going to put together. Not because AA miles are so valuable. That's just a bonus. But if I'm building up this card, hopefully is going to come with some sort of status that would be eligible to join everything together and make everything even more sensational for you. I would also add in Amtrak. So we got planes, we got trains. I found your enterprise or national pick interesting just because planes, trains, and automobiles would be fun. But
And title for the week.
There we go. Matt's a jerk and planes, trains, and automobiles. Then for 4 and 5, you just get to play with whatever you want at that point. I think having a lower tier, not ultra low cost, but like something like Breeze or JetBlue or Southwest would be an interesting play just so that you have those connecting to smaller airport type. You have those smaller airport options because you can't always fly out of the hubs. You can, but like life gets miserable after a certain point. You can only fly through Charlotte so many times. Or you can only fly through Philly so many times. Or you can only fly through Atlanta so many times.
I love a hub. I love the Atlanta airport because I never have to go through TSA at the Atlanta airport. I just have to get my flight.
Which is fair, but that's also huge.
It has never bothered me the size of Atlanta because I don't do a 40-minute layover.
That is fair. So we're going American, Hyatt, Amtrak, something in the Breeze, JetBlue, Southwest family. If you want to, Frontier, because Spirit will probably still be dead by the middle of the year. And don't do a Velo. Friends don't let friends fly a Velo for reasons. And then I jump ball for the 5th one. You could do like a gas program, which would be interesting. If you could change your credit card points to like Speedway points at like a 1 to 10 ratio, that would be intriguing. Or if not Speedway,
you can do that now with City and Thornton's.
What is Thornton's?
It is a subsidiary of BP in the Midwest, but you can do it with BP as well.
Interesting. Okay.
Not a great conversion rate, just to be very clear. It's 500 points for every 10 cents.
500 points for 10 cents. Ugh, that's pretty gross.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Speedway, you can do points, and I don't know what my point conversion is for to take off 10 cents per gallon, but like I can jump up to about 17 cents per gallon off when I have the option to knock off 10 cents and using their little rewards card to 7 cents a gallon. If Stewart's had a rewards program, they don't need one, but if Stewart's had a rewards program, I'd sign up for it. I wouldn't make it attached to a bank, but I would sign up for it for sure. And Milk Card doesn't.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, you can get the little card for your milkshakes and your weekend thing. And ice cream.
No.
Matt, come on now.
And if I wanted to further tighten the loop with American Airlines and Hyatt, the obvious gas station of choice would be Shell. But a gas station, a lower end lower tier airline, a Hyatt, AA. I think that all works out. Oh, and Amtrak.
I also misquoted. It is 100 points for every 10 cents.
You're still exchanging a buck for 10 cents off a gallon.
Yeah.
You're losing 90 cents.
I hate the math on that because you can do nothing with 100 points.
No, with Capital One, you can exchange it. With
But for
Bells, you
City
could exchange it.
specifically,
Yeah, with City specifically, that's a pain. That's just watching 90 points just evaporate into the gas vapor.
somebody's got to pay for my points.
Yeah, so there we go. RJ, I yield back to you, or yield back to me.
No, I'm good. It's always interesting, like what you think people would pick. I do want another Delta option in the world. We're just never ever gonna get one.
Not never.
The floor is back to you, man.
Fair. I'm gonna close the Smile Up tab because it makes me sad. All right, for my topic this week, we've got outside of travel. What do you think will be the next sort of point transfer possibility for banks that they may look into transferring with? You do have restaurant reward programs now, plenty of restaurant reward programs. You've got gas station reward programs. You've got grocery store reward programs that can be potentially super valuable, the way that some folks can leverage those things into crazy plays. Do you think it might be worthwhile to exchange membership reward points for, say, Meijer points or Kroger points or something like that? But away from travel, do you think there's any sort of point transfer opportunity for banks to look into to provide value, maybe, with a non-traditional travel point?
I think it's something to explore. It would be interesting to see how different banks would approach it, right? Because if you can get something like, I'm going to use Stewart's because now I'm thinking of ice cream. If you could do something right where I could turn,
Damn it, I want ice cream.
Again, I'm pulling things out, but like 1,000 Amex points into a pint of ice cream. Is it a great redemption? No. Do I sometimes just want some ice cream? And if I could hit the button and get the ice cream, would I do it occasionally? Probably. You know what I mean? There are times when like having options is not, because say you only have 1,000 points, right? Like you don't have really enough to or you have 950, which you can't transfer out, right? So if I could like just hit a button and get ice cream, I would give you those 950 points for a pint of ice cream right now. I would do it. I would do it happily. If I had some really good cookies and cream ice cream in front of me, it would be gone. So I do think having grocery partners or even like rental cars or different things like that, where you can do those exchanges, is honestly going to give you better value than adding your like 19th airline that like 7 people are going to use, right? Like it's going, and it's also something you can differentiate. You can beat that drum. So I would love if they would start getting more creative. Grocery stores, even something like all of the retail stores are owned by like 6 companies. So just let me. The problem is a lot of those companies have their own credit cards, and it might be a system where they don't want their credit cards encroached on. Like a Best Buy or something doesn't want you to use your Amex to do a thing when you could get their Best Buy credit card. So that's the only downside to something like that. But I would love to see turn your Amex points into Red Lobster or whatever.
Probably could have saved Red Lobster, to be honest.
Yeah. People do it at Amazon. You might as well get food out of it.
And this is not like the Dollar General use your city thank you points at Dollar General for
no.
No, don't.
No,
it's
not
that
what we
I'm
mean.
thinking. I'm thinking like convert 1,000 MR points or less potentially, like 1,000 MR points into, I don't know, 1,000 Red Robin points or whatever. Like that sort of conversion, not necessarily point for point, but say 1,000 MR points becomes like 5,000 Red Robin points, or 5,000 points at Chipotle, or whatever. That's the sort of thing I'm thinking of. Maybe it's not 1 to 5, but like something of that ilk. Craig, your thoughts here?
I love this question. And for me, I think that there's kind of 2 pathways that I see for my own use case. One of the main shopping stores that I go to, not just for groceries, but for in general, it's called Meijer, and they are in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. It's a Midwestern chain. I don't think that there's any on the East Coast.
If there are any, they'd be in Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is actually in the Midwest.
Yeah. But keeping that in mind, they have a fantastic loyalty system right now, because their points can be used for discounts in store, discounts for gas. You can use it for special deals, points. And outside of gas, if you're just using it for discounts, on average, they're giving you probably 3 cents per point, and you're generating 10 points per dollar, depending on once you get to those certain levels. Like now, those smaller entry level offers, not great, but once you get 10, 20,000 points stacked up, hey, you're getting pretty good deals there. So I would love more Myers points. I would love to get an extra dollar off of gas, because I'm the weirdo that will take full advantage. You say I have a limit of 32 gallons of gas that I can get for my dollar off. I'm getting 32 gallons of gas. Whether they're going in 5-gallon cans, if I'm having my in-laws come and I'm filling up those tanks, I'm getting my 32 gallons. But yeah, I love that. Another one that I think is a sleeper pick, Starbucks stars are actually really valuable when you do the math on the different drinks or items that you can get for 100 points or 200 stars. Now, granted, you have to be a Starbucks person. Do you have people that are on the East Coast? Dunkin's folks. I think Dunkin's coffee is absolutely disgusting and despicable. However, love their breakfast sandwiches and their hash browns. As RJ takes a slug of, what is that? Is that a root beer?
That is 0 sugar root beer.
Oh, I love that. A&W?
Yes.
Nice. Quality taste. But yeah, no, I think using it for Starbucks would also be great. I unfortunately found out last year I was in the top 20% of Starbucks users and getting Delta miles out of nowhere. I just thought that I was getting Delta points for being cool. Turns out I was spending too much money at Starbucks.
You did
Here's
see that
how
they
much.
recently refreshed their system, right?
Yeah, I know. I haven't done
Here's
enough
how
research
much
into it.
I don't like Starbucks. I won't go to Starbucks even though I could get Delta miles out of it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I hate Starbucks. Like, I love coffee. I will drink bad coffee. I'll drink Cumberland Farms coffee. I'll drink Stewart's coffee. I'll drink Dunkin', like any of them. I will not drink Starbucks. I do not like it.
I mean,
Again, I'm not saying that the coffee I like is good. I'm saying that I have acclimated to it.
I've come to find out I don't actually like coffee. I just like caffeine.
That is
yeah.
fair.
I don't drink Starbucks for non-coffee reasons.
Yeah. Hear me out. My son loves a chocolate cake pop. And if he has had a good week at daycare, we have come to find out he will get his chocolate cake pop. And if I don't bring him that chocolate cake pop on a Friday, someone's head will roll, and it is not going to be his.
And that's entirely fair. And I have not introduced my little demon to Starbucks and their cake pops. We're going through a K-pop demon hunter phase for sure. But
Dude, I'm so tired of K-pop demon hunters.
oh no, she's cosplaying as Rumi. It's interesting. Dyed her hair purple and the whole shebang. I don't care. The hair is renewable. I'm not about
Here's a renewable resource.
It is
For everybody, Matt. There are some gentlemen with large swaths of their hair. Unless you count going to Turkey.
not my problem.
Turkish
Also,
Airlines.
very much not my problem. My problem is my little demon. Beyond that, I don't care what you do with your head, but like my only rule with her is no bleaching, no like stripping agents. But
Things that would genuinely
fine.
hurt your hair. Yeah.
and her scalp is her major sensory point.
Yep.
So yeah, we're not playing that game yet. But like, she's had no problems with the semi-permanent dyes, so it's fine. I don't care. I dyed my hair starting at 10. It's whatever.
The salt and pepper in Matt's beard is actually dye.
Yeah.
No, it is not. I gave up dyeing my hair because like when I dyed my hair purple, I had to turn my hair into string to get it to catch, and it only lasted a week, and then it turned pink. Fire engine red worked a little bit better for me. Blue was an adventure. But anyway, that's my youth. Yeah, so I'm not going to touch the cake pops in any way, shape, or form. She gets her occasional donuts, chocolate frosted donuts without sprinkles from Dunkin', and that's about it. Used to work at Starbucks. My problems with Starbucks are not the taste of the coffee. I know how to order the coffee to make it taste good. I know what types of coffee I can get from them to make it taste better. Usually it's a French press. Or if they've got the veranda brewing system, whatever it was that isn't their drip coffee. Their drip coffee leaves a lot to be desired, but like other ways you can prepare coffee at Starbucks will help, especially if they have a V60 option. Most Starbucks don't. Go to your local coffee shops, get a V60 brew. It'll change your life.
On the flip side, if my barista doesn't have blue hair, I don't want my coffee from a local coffee shop, though.
Here's the problem. I would just get into cupping discussions with the baristas. I don't really care about the color of the hair. Like, it's how deep into the conversation we'll get.
You got a vase back there? Throw a little green food coloring back in it? That's how I like my coffee at a local shop. No King of the Field fans? Okay. It's okay.
Hingle
Just want a
McCriddleberry,
4-shot latte and nothing in it. I don't want caramel. I don't want chocolate. I just want 4 shots in a cup with milk.
They can do that for you.
Yeah.
I know. And that's when I go to my local coffee shop on Saturdays and I ask for that and they deliver it to me. They're 2 very nice ladies, own it. I go in there, I got 6 hours of work done for the podcast and for my channel. It was great.
That's fair. All right. I think we've covered potential alternative options for using your points, and don't ever exchange your city points at Dollar General. Don't do it. You're
I think
so many points
Walmart asked somebody or a store asked them if they wanted to use Bilt points. I saw on the Reddit.
If you're exchanging your Bilt points at Walmart, have fun. Although, fun fact, the Obsidian is apparently coding Walmart's and Target's as 3X grocery.
Might have to go to Walmart this weekend.
Until it gets broken next month when Cardless realizes what mistake they've let happen.
That'll be next month problem, Matt.
So make hay while the sun is shining. And
I don't like when people break things. Bilt doesn't need much help.
oh, no, they're breaking everything just fine by themselves. Again, like the cards, like the program, really like the program. It's just the people in charge of the program. Anyway, with that, do we have any final thoughts, questions, worries, concerns?
No, I think we've tangented all we can tangent in tonight.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Lonnie would be proud.
Lonnie for sure would be proud. Let us highlight what we like to highlight at the end of the show. We do have a number of new members: Sid M, Pagnuts, Family Travel John, Jeffrey Becko, all new members of the channel. We also have our diamond members who we like to highlight, who are Rupert Pond, Ragrex Hunter, Mitch528, Keith, Little Animal Fries, Jason YT46. You can join our memberships at stackyourpoints.com. You can join through YouTube there. Check out the Stack Your Points Discord, also available through stackyourpoints.com. RJ's channel, my channel, and Lonnie's channel are all available through stackyourpoints.com. And Craig, at some point, will get back into the flow of potentially putting together a channel, maybe? Because I know you were close.
Work just has hands.
Yeah.
Whooping my behind.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I know things are getting close, and then the holidays. Life. All right. With that, folks, we will see you next week. Thanks for watching. We will talk to you soon. Bye for now.